One day in the 1960s, a bomb was thrown onto the porch of a man by the name of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. No one was hurt in the explosion, but afterward, Dr. King spoke to those around him who thought that justice could be gained by violence, saying that justice could only be found by returning hatred with love. He believed that gentleness was more influential than hatred. The movement was nonviolent, and although some demonstrations were met with violence, Dr. King refused to answer violence with violence. In 1963, Dr. King was able to bring 250,000 Americans to Washington, D.C. to support justice and equal rights for everyone in America. Dr. King spoke to us about his dream. "I have a dream," he said, "that one day this nation will rise and live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal." In 1964, Dr. King became the youngest person to be awarded the Nobel Peace Prize, and although he was shot to death by an assassin on April 4th, 1968, his message of justice for all lives on forever. Martin Luther King Jr.'s life was a living testimony to the pursuit of one of the most important, weightier matters to God, namely justice. Justice. God is constantly trying to help us develop the fruit of justice. How do I know? Because Jesus calls this fruit, along with mercy and faith, the weightier matters of the law. Justice, mercy, and humble faith are the things that really are important to God. Jesus was saying to the Pharisees in Matthew 23:23 that these are the issues that really matter. These excellent values were quoted by the Lord in Micah 6:8. "He has shown you, O man, what is good, and what does the Lord require of you, but to do justly, to love mercy, and to walk humbly with your God." What is justice? Justice is the quality of being fair. It implies making a decision or a verdict that is right, fair, and reasonable. Justice is rooted in the nature of God. Justice is characterized by a decision to walk in integrity before God and others. God has given us the first commandment, which is to love the Lord with all of our heart, soul, mind, and strength. This is the first and foremost commandment. The second is to love others as you love yourself. Once again, God said in Matthew 5:19 that if you live and preach these commandments, you will be living the life Jesus calls great and excellent. Speaking to one of his young mentors, Francis of Assisi said that everywhere you go, you preach a message. Everywhere you go, your behavior is closely observed. Your lifestyle is a message to the world. It is of no value to walk anywhere to preach unless you preach everywhere you walk. True spiritual leaders, in God's eyes, decide to walk in integrity before God and man, no matter the cost. This fruit starts with a vibrant relationship with Jesus as Savior. And as you abide in His love, that fruit is developed. The higher pleasures of Christ will always drown out the lesser pleasures of this world or anything that attempts to discourage you. For instance, an Olympic athlete does almost everything we do, but everything they do revolves around one thing. It is to gain the objective, which is to win the prize. The athlete is captured by a goal. They orientate their whole life around the goal. What they eat, drink, sleep, and who they associate with are all affected by this objective.